What up, guys? It's Dom, and welcome back to another movie review. So I wanted to get this one done before Inside Out 2 came out. So of course, we're going over Inside Out. Inside Out, written and directed by Pete Docter. After young Riley is uprooted from her Midwest life and moved to San Francisco, her emotions, joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear conflict on how best to navigate a new city, house, and school. Let's get right into the 10 essential aspects of a movie. The first essential aspect is plot. Personally, I love the plot of this movie. I think it was super smart of them to not just make it a story about Riley, but about the emotions in her head. And they each have their own stories. All the emotions, especially joy and sadness, they have their own adventure inside the head. They get lost and they have to figure out a way to get back to help Riley through this tough time, which is the second part of the story. Riley moves from home, has to leave behind her old home, her friends, her school, and is starting fresh. And that's scary for someone that is as young as she is. And she needs all of her emotions in check if she wants to make it through. So the fact that joy and sadness kind of aren't there, which are two very important emotions, it makes it really hard for her to make it through this tough time. So I thought that was really cool to have two main plot points that they followed perfectly, and they chose a perfect scenario to need as many emotions as were shown. So I think they nailed the plot. The second essential aspect is attraction. I thought this movie was super entertaining. Even now as an adult, I still found myself enjoying myself. Less for the reasons that I enjoyed it as a kid. I more enjoyed the childish, bright colors, cool characters, comedy. But now, when I'm rewatching it, I still enjoyed the characters. I still enjoyed the comedy. I just really enjoyed the premise. I thought it was super cool to have a story inside of Riley's mind, and you get to see how different things are perceived there, how dreams are made, how memories are formed, how the emotions interact with each other. I thought that was honestly really cool. And even now, as a 22-year-old, I had a blast watching it. The third essential aspect is theme. Even though this movie is about all the emotions, I think the main theme of this movie has to do with sadness. I think everyone has times in their life that they feel down or feel sad, and it's just important that you go to the people that support you, that love you, to help you get through it. I think that is the general theme, and I thought that was an awesome message to include in this movie. The fourth essential aspect is dialogue. I think the dialogue honestly carried this movie. Of course, that has to do with the voice acting, so that's a completely different section, but especially the dialogue between the characters. I thought it was perfect. You can see how anger talks to joy, how he is always angry. She's always trying to put a positive spin on things. Sadness, always depressing. It's how they should be. So they didn't go, okay, they're just all regular characters. No, if they are supposed to represent the emotion of anger, they should be angry a lot. If they're supposed to be joy, they should always be trying to put a good spin on things. So I thought they did a great job representing the emotions that they were expressing through the voices. So I think they did a great job with dialogue. The fifth essential aspect is acting. So just like I said in the dialogue, the voice actors did a phenomenal job of embracing the emotions that they were supposed to be. So I need to give a huge shout out to all of them. Amy Poehler as joy, Phyllis Smith as sadness, Bill Hader as fear, Lewis Black as anger, and Mindy Kaling as disgust. They all did a great job, and honestly, I can't stress this enough that the dialogue is so important. Since they were able to really become these emotions through the dialogue, it made it feel more real. Because if they didn't really have that good of emotion, it would feel like there's just random characters living in Riley's head instead of the emotions that control her life. So again, they did a great job. They were able to vocally become the emotion that they were. So awesome. The sixth essential aspect is cinematography. Now this is where this movie hit hard. So obviously the whole point of cinematography is to express emotion through setting, wardrobe, etc. So they did a great job, especially since this movie is about emotions. So one scene in particular that I will give spoiler warnings about because it is too big of a scene to not talk about in this review. When Joy and Bing Bong get dropped into the land of the forgotten, where all the memories go to be completely forgotten. It was so sad to see Bing Bong get left behind. I haven't cried at a movie in a while, especially a movie made for kids, but I actually did shed tears. I don't know why. I thought it was played perfectly. They knew how to tug at my heartstrings. They knew what to show and what not to show and what to say in order for you to feel super connected to a character that honestly wasn't even on screen for that long. And it hurt. It hurt when he knew he had to jump off the cart in order to let Joy make it to the top to go save Riley. And just thinking about it, it gets me emotional, honestly. They did a great job with that scene. And honestly, that's why I love the movie so much. They know how to play with your emotions and make it an enhancement of a movie, honestly. So they did an amazing job. Props to them for knowing how to cinematically get you to fall in love with these characters.
Bing Bong! We did it! Bing Bong? Bing Bong!
You made it! Go save Riley! Take her to the moon for me, okay?
The seventh essential aspect is editing. So Inside Out was an hour and 35 minutes long. I thought that was a great length. They didn't make it too long to the point where you were kind of trying to get to the point, but they also didn't leave it too short, so they had the time to actually wrap up both plot points really well. So I thought they did a great job with that. And of course, at the end of the movie, they did kind of tease what Inside Out 2 is going to be about, which I can't wait to see. It's in theaters now. That's why I wanted to do this review, so I can go watch that and give a review to you guys about it. So I think overall the editing was great. And as long as they didn't make the next movie too long or too short, I wouldn't be surprised if if the next movie is just as good. The eighth essential aspect is soundtrack. Now, I don't remember a lot of the soundtrack, but what I do remember is during scenes where Riley is feeling one emotion more than the others, the soundtrack does actually follow along with that. So there could be an angrier soundtrack when she's feeling more angry, and when she's super joyful, there's more of a cheery soundtrack going on. So I thought they did a great job with capturing the emotions within the soundtrack. But other than those specific scenes, I don't really remember much of it. So other than that, probably not too memorable, but a few great scenes with soundtrack. The ninth essential aspect is directing. So Pete Docter was the director of Inside Out, and I'm not surprised he did such a fantastic job with this movie because he also directed Monsters, Inc. and Up. And those are two of the better Pixar movies, honestly. I think that he has only done bangers. Like, he has not made a bad movie yet, to my knowledge. So I think he needs to keep directing because he nails it every single time. Obviously, he did a spectacular job with Monsters, Inc. and Up, and now Inside Out. So keep doing what you're doing. You are awesome. And the 10th essential aspect is time. So as of the recording of this video, this movie is 9 years old. And honestly, yeah, it stands the test of time. A sequel's coming out this year, and up until this point, that is still one of the better Pixar movies that exist. So I haven't seen the sequel yet. I can't wait to see it. We'll see where that one ranks. But yeah, it definitely stands the test of time. It will probably be one of the better Pixar movies for a while. Now, onto the reviews. So to no surprise at all, Inside Out was rated really high. So Rotten Tomatoes critics gave it a 98%. Rotten Tomatoes audience gave it an 89%, and IMDb gave it an 81%. Now, personally, I'm not even mad at Rotten Tomatoes critics giving it a 98, but I think I'm going to personally be right around where audience put it. I think it deserves a 90, and that's going over all movies so far. I think it is an amazing movie. There's little things that are wrong with it. Obviously, every movie, there's no perfect movie. Every movie has little things here and there that need some fixing up, but this one did not have many. I think they did a great job overall. And you're going to see my rankings, but it's pretty obvious where it's going to go. And finally, the rankings. This might be the easiest ranking I've done so far. I didn't expect it to be. Honestly, when I was going to go watch this movie, I thought it was overhyped over the past. And then I watched it, and it was unanimous. So in 2015, it will take the first position. It's the only movie I've done so far in that year, so that was simple enough. Now in the 2010s, it will also take the first position. It's going to be above Megamind, and honestly, both are really good movies. I think Inside Out is just probably one of the better animated movies that I've watched. I said that about Megamind as well. I just think Megamind has more problems. There's more plot points that I wish could be fixed up a little bit. It's still a great movie. It's still one of my favorite animated movies. I just think Inside Out is near perfect to the point where I cannot put it lower than that. And that's why also in all time, it will take the first position above Megamind. Because that's what I'm saying. Megamind's still a great movie. I just think Inside Out did it better, which is why I'm so excited for the sequel. But either way, that's all I have for Inside Out. If you guys enjoyed this review, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And make sure to comment what movie you want me to review next. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace out.